Hey sports fans, welcome to the first installment of something that's been a long time in the making. We've got a girls golf podcast talking all things CIF, girls golf. I'm Christian Pedersen. This is the actual expert who is going to be the responsible one talking about it, Mr. Coach Jack Klein. Happy season. I know we're a couple weeks into it already, but now we've finally made our way out here to beautiful Riverwalk. Look at this. It's a nice break from football fields and getting sunburned at water polo games and sweating in gyms.
There you go.
So we're a couple weeks into the season already. Let's just take a little lap around the county. The 9th best, 11th best, and 25th, 30th best.
Yeah.
We got some of the best under 18 amateur girls golfers in the country. They're all golfing here in the San Diego CIF section. Coach, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, we, as you mentioned, we started our season here in mid-August, so off to a good start. A lot of teams getting some early matches in, which is nice. They bumped the season, I guess you'd say, back a week this year, so we can get a little bit more done before some of the school started this year. So nice, take advantage of staying light a little bit later. So as you mentioned, we've got some superstars here in San Diego, and the list begins with the junior from Francis Parker, Brooke Say.
It's ridiculous that she's only a junior.
No, this young lady, she's such a fine young lady. As you know, we've talked about.
And we had her on our show last year. You can look up her building character segment.
Yeah, Brooke, and she played in the U.S. Women's Open, the best players in the world, professional players in the world, some amateurs. Made the cut, did a terrific job there. Brooke also played in the U.S. Amateur this year, made it deep into the match play, and in culminating the season for her, she played in, represented the United States in the Junior Solheim Cup, so quite a summer for Brooke. And although she's injured right now, I certainly expect to see her at the end of the season.
Do you have to have a minimum number of qualifying, played in X amount of tournaments to qualify for CIF, or can you stay on the shelf all season long and play in playoffs?
Great question. You need to have 11 matches to qualify.
As an individual, not just as a team?
As a team and as an individual.
Okay.
So that's something that we have to make sure that we get all the players, get their matches in for the season, unless there's some extenuating circumstances, as you might expect.
But it's not we're going to just keep our secret hidden weapon, a healthy golfer on her own, and then let her loose for playoffs. You got to get out there.
No, it's you've got to play the matches, and all the players do. And it's one of the privileges of playing in high school sports. It's wonderful to be part of a team and to be participating in all the things that you learn beyond just the greatness of the game.
I feel like it can somewhat be a grind though, coming out for all those matches, because sometimes golf doesn't agree with you. Sometimes this sport can treat you really bad, sometimes it treats you really well, and it's a long mental grind to stay on that consistent eyes down the road for playoffs.
Sounds like golf. You described it perfectly. But yes, and I think one of the valuable lessons that these young ladies are learning is that we have players of all levels that are playing, and so you'll have the players like Felicita Reyes, who we're just about to mention, the senior at Rancho Bernardo, and she has the lowest differential this season. She's 2.5 shots under par. She's playing great, but she'll be playing side by side with a player who's picking it up every hole, because they've reached the limit on the number of strokes, so they'll shoot 81, and that takes a lot of mentally you have to stay with it, and I think there's no better training for these young ladies, and also to give those newer players a chance to see what great is, to see the potential in the sport. So I just love it.
Yeah, because in a football, open division teams aren't going to play D5 teams. You don't get that chance to share the field with someone like that. But you mentioned in a given match you'll have a Parker, a Valhalla, a Bonita, an LCC, and it's a great mix from all over the county.
It's terrific.
How though, as a coach, do you keep the players who are on that upper echelon mentally at that peak level and not let them lower their game?
What's in many sports, in golf we have a lot of downtime generally, and so I think that This is a really great growth opportunity for these players to see how they can turn on that focus at that moment when they have to play their shot. And they're going to, as they take their game to the next level, especially the Brooksays and the Briannas of the world, they're going to run into periods where they're going to have rulings in their group, and they're going to have 15-minute waits. They're going to have situations where they're going to have rain delays. Playing at this level in this kind of situation where they're waiting for players, they're helping players, that only prepares them mentally for taking their game to the next level. So I think it's a really great opportunity for them, and not only that, but sharing that experience with new players. I mean, where can you have that opportunity where you have players with such diverse skill levels playing together, enjoying the game together? I just think it's joy-filled. I love it.
Well, it's something that we saw on the guys' side last year, where it has a really weird dynamic that doesn't exist really in any other sport, of the team and individual playoffs. So you can have that where a day goes really south for the team as a whole, but that one guy or girl has a great day and is able to elevate their game to the point where in the playoffs, team playoffs are one thing, but then the individual round, you get that whole, north, south, east, west part of the counties all represented together. So
absolutely,
it sounds like we're headed towards something like that in the playoffs. But we got a couple weeks still until we get there. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
There you go.
And start anointing playoffs.
If I didn't mention last year's winner, Brianna Neverosa, who's, as we mentioned, ranked 30th in the under-18s. She's a sophomore, plays for Modern Day. She's off to a great start as well. She won our section CIF, in fact, a 7th playoff hole with Brooke last year. So as you can imagine,
a little bitter for you.
Well, quite a fine player. It's wonderful to see these young ladies performing at this level. And
so they went 7 playoff holes.
Correct. So
Tiger and Rocco Mediate go 3 in the U.S. Open. We're going 7 playoff holes here.
Exactly.
That's why
it was awesome.
That's why this is great stuff going on. This is really truly great golf here.
It really is.
So, what are a couple teams? What are a couple players? Just give us a couple bullet points right now. We're still early in the season. People got time to go catch matches.
Sure.
Who are people that we need to know about?
So, Cathedral.
Cathedral Catholic. They just recently won versus La Jolla earlier this week. So shout out to them.
Right, and their top player, freshman Sabrina Nguyen. She shot 5 under in a 36-hole tournament last week, a high school tournament out in the desert to win that.
Sensation.
She's someone to watch. Lauren Gomez at Point Loma. She's a freshman. I'm expecting a lot of great things out of Lauren. She's a fine young lady, has a nice game, and is a little bit newer to the game, but she can flat out play. So she has a differential under par already this season.
Wow.
So she's doing really well. Lauren Williams, also at Cathedral, is playing really well.
Spoiler alert: Cathedral's good at most sports.
Yeah, there you go. Top 5 teams for us. You've got Rancho Bernardo, that is our #1 team. Modern Day, Brianna plays for Modern Day. You got Scripps Ranch, Torrey Pines, Cathedral. Those should be the 5 teams that will be vying for our sectional championship. I think when we get to the end of the year, I think that's who we're looking at.
And that's you taking a very actually good objective look at that and not putting Parker right at the top of that list.
No, I'd love to think that we could be. We're a really small school with 500 students, and we were really blessed to make it to day 2 last year. Top 8 teams. I think there's a good chance that Parker can do that again this year. Caroline Garay, who's number 11 as an individual now, is #2 player at Parker. So yeah, we'll get in there. Thank you for letting me get a plug. We've got some really nice new players. It's great, but these are the top 5 teams.
We struggle with some of our other sports analysts to actually have them take a deep, objective breath, and it's everyone's showing the undershirt that from the school they went to or something like that, but actually having the Parker coach be able to say, it's a tough sport. Not everyone makes it to the end of the season. We're getting ahead of ourselves there though, because we got so much time left. can come out to Riverwalk here. You guys got a match. I almost called it a game. That shows. My apologies, you golf fans. You got a match in a couple minutes. We'll let you get going to that. You can catch them here all season long. You go catch Torrey. Go catch Cathedral. Go catch Modern Day. Anywhere in the county, there's golf going on. It's great golf to find. Great golf to watch. We'll have a couple players on our podcast all season long. We're just really excited. This is finally here. This is finally happening.
I'd be remiss if I didn't, talk about some of the golf courses too.
Please lay it on.
Indulge me for a minute.
Let's go.
Sean Cox, who is just an extraordinary director of golf out at the Grand, there have been some matches there, matches at Fairbanks. Some of the best courses in our county are really celebrating junior golf. Here at Riverwalk, we have 4 or 5 teams: Cathedral, Our Lady of OLP.
Yeah, just call it OLP. It's a mouthful to say Our Lady of Peace.
Sounds better. Of course, Francis Parker. We've got a number of teams playing here out of Riverwalk.
We'll just dub it over right there.
There we go. We're gonna, so a lot of La Jolla plays out of here as well. Some of their matches, so it's really nice. We get a lot of.
It's picturesque, it's scenic. It's all the way from Admiral Baker up to the country clubs up in the North County.
Yep.
So it's not we have to drive only coastal, or it's the La Jolla Country Club or bust. There are great little hidden pockets that I feel like some people don't even realize that there's this truly future professional culture here on the guys and the girls side that's happening. Like, look at this event behind it. This would be the equivalent of hosting your middle of the season football game at, well, I wouldn't say Qualcomm because it's not called Qualcomm anymore.
There you go.
But at like a pro level event, like
really
you
nice.
could like Torrey Pines is literally where the PGA plays, and that's where high school golf gets played.
Exactly.
This is a really unique setup that's kind of San Diego and Southern California's blessing.
Absolutely, and some of the finest golf courses in the country, and we're fortunate enough to be able to play them.
And we're fortunate enough to have one of the finest golf coaches to talk some of the finest golf players, and we'll be here all season long. If you guys want us to come check out a match, tweet at me, because I'll go check. He's actually a full-time employed adult and has other things to do. But tweet at me. I will gladly come check out matches. We'll have kind of an open dialogue to talk anything and everything, and talk. Yes, admittedly, we are going to try and get to the Glossner family every single week because they have been asking for this for almost 3 years now, and it's finally here. We're going to talk girls golf. San Diego Prep Insider. We're out. We'll see you guys next week.